out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Derek Carr is set and ready to roll as he leads the Raiders out onto the field. Carr in his 6th season, 28 years of age, former second-round pick back in 2014, and a lot of people feel this is a critical season for Derek Carr as a Raider. Remember, there were whispers that the Raiders might be in the market for a QB in the draft, even contemplating maybe making a run at Kyler Murray, but in the end, they stood pat with Derek Carr, hoping that he's the long-term answer. And now this pass brought in by Brown. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. This is the former Jet and Brown, Isaiah Crowell. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
What now? 280.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Carr, throw right side, complete to Williams. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big-time
pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They keep it with Crowell on first. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true number 1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat him.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got it. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talk to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big.
What now? 280.
This is Jalen Richard, the 4th-year man from Southern Miss. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
Let's go. Check 99. Check 99.
Carr now to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter, that's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led by a man who grew up across the bay in the town of Novato. It's the first-round pick from nearby Cal Berkeley, and that's Jared Goff.
And how about it? When you're the #1 overall pick, there's an incredible sense of excitement. I'm sure there's pride for he and his family to be that guy.
And some pressure.
Boy, does it bring some responsibility and pressure with it as well, doesn't it? Because he's expected to be the so-called savior as well as the face of the franchise. So here's his opportunity, and now he's back at home, so to speak, playing in front of some familiar faces.
A big play there on the catch and run. 54 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In a sense, I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it, because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Push him back. Push him back.
A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. First throw now for the backup Bortles. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So on 4th down, here comes Greg Zuerlein to try and get 3 for the Rams. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Zuerlein, of course, last year had likely the iconic field goal of the season, booting that 57-yarder in the Superdome to send his squad to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you really hurt the Saints fans on that one, didn't you?
Sorry.
They didn't want to hear that at all. But this guy deserves his nicknames. Greg the Leg, Legatron, because the ball goes through the post at a heavy rate. 87% in 2018.
Let's go.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Renfro bringing it in over the middle. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 6 there on first.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter. If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Oh, you got deep? Watch left, watch left. Tight ends in the go.
Glennon. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Marcus Peters came screaming in on the corner blitz.
Seems to me that our friend, Old Momentum, I think he's definitely changed teams in this game.
It's only going to grow after that sack, and now, heck, they can get the ball back here and possibly even get the lead. So, on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. JoJo Natson back deep for the Rams. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Maurice Hurst. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
Here's Johnny Hecker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Harris to return. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Now Glennon. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. The Raiders on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. He'll drop to throw. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
On the ready. 59, mark. Check, 59. I got it. Down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. To throw again on 2nd down. Glennon. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Glennon now 5 of 6. Very accurate since taking over. And he's got his guys a first down. Back to throw here. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. They run the counter with Martin.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Derek Carrier in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
And just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a moment. But first, let's give everybody a look at what's coming up this weekend in the NFL. In our game, most of the starters have made their cameo and departed, but plenty of youngsters out there with a lot to gain or lose as we get you right back out to Brandon God.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. From the gun to give to Henderson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
So coming up empty here to start the third quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
Let's go.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
And a nice pickup as this one gets them to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a game.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going. One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Rams offense now. They get set and head back onto the field.
And this has not been their best half so far. They're down double digits already and now forced to operate from inside their own 5.
And what they have to do now is not curse their fate as much as focus on the task at hand. Inside their own 5-yard line, they've got to be careful of taking care of the football and not turning it over for the defense to score additional points.
And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Let's go now. 18 Gator. 55 combined. Know your job. Check.
On first down, it's Brown. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Goes that. 18 Gator. Hey. Big Griffin.
On second down now. It's Brown, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? Because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Throwing is Bortles. This pass complete to Reynolds. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. Here in this Thursday night matchup. And that'll do it for the end of the third quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Henderson now on 1st and 10. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Out of the gun, they give to Henderson. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Shotgun now for Bortles. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from Clemson, Trayvon Mullen. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, you're trailing. It's the fourth quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Now listen, it's a team game. We know that. But where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? They take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again. But on offense, they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right. And you just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll set up a throw. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. A gain of 6 there on first.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
The throw over the middle, taken in, and all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A well-executed 22-yard gain. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Here we go. 10 logo. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take a win.
On first, here's Washington. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. He'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
That was a dangerous throw towards the end zone. Boy, did it hang up.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. It's a 3-yard touchdown run, and the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And it's 21-3. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a Doug Martin touchdown run. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Close call, maybe some hands on both sides. Here they get the defense.
And normally if they have that going on where both sides are fighting through like that, usually if there is a flag, it will go against the guys on D.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. It was Troy Hill that time in on the tackle. On second down, Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Go now. 10-2 start.
So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Black Hole celebrates. The Raiders are winners here as we say so long from Oakland.